fantastic. That tree slightly to the left there's a birch tree. Leaves have come out now, starting to come out. To the right of that, Scots pine. And I think behind that we've got some fir trees. Now, Scots pine and the fir are evergreens, although they do shed their needles. They keep hold of the needles throughout the winter, but it's nice to see now the broadleaf trees starting to come out into leaf, and look at that beautiful blue sky. So what we have here in Scotland and in Britain actually, before the daffodils here, is the snowdrops. Now snowdrops aren't actually native to Britain, and it's weird because you see them everywhere and all the time. Same with the daffodils. There's one native species, I think it's called the Lent lily, and that's actually sort of native to England and Wales but not to Scotland, so these aren't actually native here, or neither are any daffodils, but yeah, these are probably occurring right here because somebody's put them in. And the native ones are a lot smaller. I don't know if I've ever seen one or not. I have seen some small species of daffodils, but not 100% sure. Nice splash of colour here though. This is a gorse bush, and I'm going to be making some tea just now, a cup of tea, and we're going to use the flowers for that. It's one of those rare sort of ones. It's actually quite flavoursome. Some things I drink, like say birch leaf tea, it's not got too much flavour. Lime tree flower tea is actually really nice, but this is nice as well. It's maybe one of those ones though, some people like it, some people don't, but I think we're just going to head down the river first, take a look at some wildflowers down there. Just left my bag over there, lighter walking, and we're going to come back, do some dinner as well. Bluebells are just starting to come out. This whole area will be a carpet of them soon, but they're still really just emerging at the moment. That's the earliest ones there. Don't know if that's on film. Low flying plane. One thing I really love about Scotland, its history and stone walls. It might sound ridiculous, but this wall's been up here for a long time. It's old, it's starting to fall and crumble. I love the moss, and there's different types of moss here as well, I think, unless it's just further along. But yeah, you know, somebody's built this wall. I don't know how long ago and why. Usually it's to keep something in or else, I suppose. But it goes all the way along this little burn here. Don't know why really, and now it's been replaced by a sort of a fence, wire fence, which is now in disrepair as well. So that's old, and the wall's even older, but everywhere I go there's old stone walls and bridges as well I love. But anyway, I diverge, we need to get down the river. Well, this log's quite interesting. It's got the moss and then it's got the wood sorrel, which is edible. You can't eat too much, but yeah, it's a little nibble. Tastes like apple peel. Now I think this one is called dog mercury. It's poisonous. I see it kind of in shady woodlands, to be honest with you, quite often, but it's out here in the sun at the moment. I think that's, yeah, I think that's dog mercury. My all-time favourite, the old stinging nettle. My introduction to that was about 23 years ago when I brushed some, and it really did sting. They say if you find a plant called dock growing alongside it, you can squeeze that, the leaves of that, and rub it on where you've been stung. An old wives' tale. I can't vouch that it works. I have tried it. I actually find mud works better. But yeah, nice to see. I think we might try some nettle soup this year, once that comes out a little bit more. Well, what we have here is an old oak tree. Can't say how old, but it looks like it got hit by lightning quite some time ago. It's been like this ever since I arrived anyway. still alive every year. Almost every year it produces acorns. I have taken some, put them in the woodland up there actually. I forgot about that, I must go back and check. Just found some spaces in the wood, you know. I just wanted it to carry on. I don't know how long it's got left, and it's quite weird because down this stretch of the river we've got beavers. We've not had beavers here for hundreds of years, and I often wonder if this tree was alive back when the beavers were originally here, and then they've been reintroduced now and they come down. But it's living life on the edge, this tree. There's a sandbank here and it's being dug away. I don't know by what. It's unusual for a beaver to do that. I was just speaking to a gentleman, he seems to think it's a dog. I don't know, but it's not looking good for the tree. And you'll see what I mean. I'll bring you in. So 1 year ago, this was this high, this land, and it went all the way out to the river there. As you can see, it's very, very sandy here, and something's been in digging. I really honestly don't know what, but it's very deep. Seems like an awful lot of work. Yeah, so I'm a bit worried about the tree. It's you know, keep digging, it might get uprooted. What's interesting, I think though, this river, sometimes it's quite shallow and you can see the rocks, and then other times it's running real high and real fast, and I think once it got started to be dug here, being sandy, strong waters is also contributed to it. But yeah, any thoughts, let me know. It really does seem unusual for a beaver. Some kind of markings there. Can even see deer prints in there as well. They come down for something to drink. Right, I'm not sure if all these are in the frame here. I've left the bag up there to take the weight off my back, but I've left my book in there as well, my flower book. We've got primulas, edible, flowers and leaves, but I don't recommend eating the leaves. They've got tiny little hairs on there. They can irritate your gut. There's a duck floating down there. I thought it was a beaver for a second. We've just had wood sorrel. This is wood anemone. I do get them mixed up just in the name. And then these have closed up. I think these are lesser celandines. So there's quite a good few species here, all coming out. Another sign of spring. A couple of dandelion flowers too. A weed to many, but one of our true wildflowers, and I think often underrated. I have with me here the Trangia 25, which I really love. The last time I used this, I used it upside down, so we'll get it the right way up this time. Inside it, get the kettle, and inside that I've got my burner there and fuel to go in that, and then I've also got the handle for my pot. It's got a little bit more room should I need to put anything in there. Behind me you can see the gorse, so we'll get a gorse flower tea on the go. This knife here, I've lost the sheath, unfortunately. It was beautiful as well. It was like handmade, handcrafted. It's in a woodland. I know exactly where, I just can't find it. So I think it's Finnish knife, Puukko. It was either P-U-U-K-K-O or P-U-K-K-O or P-U-U-K-O. I can't remember. Why don't I just put it up on the on the thing. It's lovely, I love it. It's my oldest knife. We'll put it gently back in there. Get some of the flowers. Oh, can't take too many, the bumblebee here won't be too happy. Ah, ha, ha. Rather than take it all from the one stalk, I'll come up here. So once that water's boiled, I'll refill the little Trangia burner with more fuel, and then we'll get dinner on. It's going to be nice actually, it's going to be a tasty one today. I'll show you that in a minute. One thing that I do when I purchase my outdoor cooking equipment now is, you know, if I can't quite afford it, I'll wait, but I do like to get the accessories now with the kit. So when I bought that Trangia, it came with the kettle, and it's come with this chopping board as well, which acts as a sieve. Now, one of the things when I cook with the Trangia, because you're using sort of alcohol fuel or whatever you want to call it, it costs money. So I'm not using wood, which around here I've got an abundance of, and it does take a little bit more time. So my meal tonight's not cooked, but it's nearly cooked. So this chicken is cooked. I didn't want to come out and handle raw chicken, and as well that just adds to the cooking time. So by cooking the chicken before I've come and mostly cooking the other food, I won't need too long a cooking time, and it just makes for a nice experience as well. I'm not in a big panic and kerfuffle. I'm not too far away from a path, and so, you know, I'm not, yeah, I don't want to be seen, but yes, we'll just do it the easy way today. Okay, that's boiled. We'll take that off. I'm just going to put it there for 2 seconds because there's actually quite a bit of fuel left in there. Now what I have here in this plastic tub is chickpeas. The other week I cooked a pizza and I used some passata, sort of tomato based sauce, and so I've got that. I've got green peppers, I've got lentils, I think that's it, and we're going to add the chicken to that. Now I'm not going to eat this all, it's a big pot. I'm going to take some home, that'll do lunch. It's about 90% cooked. The chicken's cooked, as I said, but just that sort of other stuff. So let's heat this through and have that cup of tea. Whoop. There we are. That's nice. That'll do. Just going to keep a little bit of water back in case I need it for the stew. Okay, that's kind of bubbling quite a bit. That's like a regulator for the flame. It's a very, very well thought out piece of kit, this, to be honest with you. I want that more on a simmer than to be bubbling away like that. This won't snuff out the flame, it'll just make it lesser. There we are. Let's get that in, try the tea. I'll just show you the colour of that. Okay, I have in my bag of delights here, I should move out of that sun. This is some hot sauce. It's 5 chilies, so it's pretty hot. So I think we'll get a bit of that in there. That will give it a bit of a spark and also a nice bit of flavour as well. And then we've got some Hungarian paprika. I'm unsure if that's smoked or not. Smells like it. A little bit of that. There we are. And then not too many, but just a sprinkling of some chilies as well. That'll do. And I don't want to make it too hot. And yeah, we'll get that all. Get all that mixed through. That should just spice it up a little bit, and that should spice it up a little bit. Let's try this tea. Good. Oh, that's good, really good. A lot of colours here at the moment. The red and the yellow. I mean, that was sort of the tomato base in there. Yellow chickpeas, chicken, red lentils, yeah, red sauce, but we've got the yellow tea. Ooh. Well, tea's really yellow looking. It's actually really tasty. Do recommend to try it. Give it a go, see what you think. Just be careful. You do get, in fact, I don't know if you'll see that right in front of you. There's a plant. What's it called? Cytisus broom is the common name. That's also yellow flowering. You're not going to get that confused with the gorse. I mean, the gorse is really prickly, but you know, those flowers I don't think are drinkable. And they look, if you get broom flowers when they come out and hold them up alongside gorse flowers, can't tell the difference. What a beautiful evening. Okay, for those interested, this is the first book that I got, Wildflowers of Britain. It's by Roger Phillips. Give you a little look inside. There we are. So I wonder if that's our, well, that's a wild pansy there. Yeah, lots of flowers. Maybe a poppy there, Welsh poppy perhaps. G is B, C, D, E, F, G. Welsh poppy. Yep. And it goes sort of, all the flowers that you see here generally tend to flower at the same time. Same there. That's why they're all grouped, and so it goes along. It tells you when it's photographed. That's the 25th of June, so that's all still to come. We get later on into the season. That's July. Lots in July. We're down to August. Start to get the berries as well. It looks like elder and maybe Gelder rose. So G, Gelder rose, E, elder. So that's good. Some kind of mark there. But anyway, that's my book. So do recommend to get them. I have lots of books on the flowers just to cross-reference as well. Well, that's still simmering away, or it's just ticking away nicely. It's cooked, and I'm not eating all that. I'll take it home. I haven't really thought about that side of things, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to eat it out of here now, piping hot. Fuel still there, but I'm sure it's nearly out. And then I'll put the lid on it, and I'll just go for a little wander and let it cool down, and then I'll have to probably carry it in my hands on the way home. No way I'm putting that in the backpack. So let's give it a go. I think we'll go straight for the piece of chicken here. This was a little spoon I made. I do like little things like that. It's not great, but it does the job. Straight for the chicken, maybe not such a big piece, let's go for that. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of lentil as well. Healthy meal after a good walk. It's hot. It's not really overly hot. That's very nice. I didn't put too much spice in there. I don't like putting masses and masses because it gets to a point where it gets too hot, and for me it takes away the flavour, and then I don't really enjoy it. I do like a hot meal though, but not super hot. I can't, yeah, not one of those. Well, I think there's an osprey's nest in here. Can't guarantee that. I could get the drone, put it up and have a look, but that would disturb them and that wouldn't be nice. So I've heard them, and I've heard them last year and the year before. They do like conifers, like the fir trees, and I know there's fir trees there, but I can never get a vantage point to see. But I think I'll just leave it, let it be a kind of a secret. And yeah, I just like to think that they're here, but I've seen them fishing down at the river there. They go for the fish, so yeah, it's nice. Beautiful little woodland as well. Anyway, I'll enjoy this. We'll just have a quick look about and then I'll pack up. Still simmering. Look at that, piping hot food, delicious and nutritious. I did season this, by the way. That diffuser does a great job, doesn't it, just to regulate that heat that comes up so it's not bubbling away ferociously. The pot is underneath that lid. I'll let that cool down. Look how much liquid I've got left in here. I did my tea and my cook tonight. Incredible. Just stepped up from having dinner. A whole lot of deer there. I had no idea if I got that on film. The deer, the back of the camera still broken there. I got to look through the viewfinder, then press the button and press record and hope, but I came up, the stuff's just down there, and I came up and there they all were. I know they're here, they've been here for it's really weird actually. We used to have red deer here and roe deer, and I have seen a couple of roe deer. Never see the red deer anymore. This was 20 years ago, and now it's fallow deer. Seems to be a herd, and yeah, I love seeing them. I mean, I could almost guarantee to come up and see them, but I didn't expect them to be so close. I wasn't quite ready. This is predominantly, right now, a birch tree woodland. So we've had our gorse flower tea. If I wanted something else, the leaves are starting to come out on the birch tree, so I could have birch leaf tea, as I maybe mentioned before. You can also have birch twig tea and birch bark tea. Behind me over there is some Scots pine. You can use the needles, or any pine actually, I think, for a cup of tea. High in vitamin C, they say. So what did I get today? Vitamin D from that sun. It was great. What a beautiful day. It was unexpected because yesterday's forecast was just dark cloud, and then evening came in and I was like, hello, that's nice. So it's just nice to get out. I don't know if you can see the path here. This is where I normally come up. It's the closest sort of woodland to me. Come up and film sometimes. I love it. It's an ancient woodland, as they say. Yeah, and there's red squirrels here as well, jays, buzzards, crows. See the crows everywhere. They're one heck of a bird, the crows, I tell you. I've seen them up the top of mountains, out at the sea. and in the woodlands as well. They're everywhere, very hardy birds. They're sort of the black crows there. So anyway, I'm going to just meander about, and my dinner's cooling down. Dangerous, very dangerous that. It's so nice, it really was. I don't know why I don't have that more often actually. It's very easy to cook. It's sort of a one pot thing really. I could have put the chicken in if I wanted to rather than cutting it up out here, but yeah, one pot cooking. Trangia is great, and I want to take the opportunity, you know, to my subscribers really, and friends as well. Thanks for watching, especially at this point of the video where it gets quite long. We lose a lot of people along the way, so I do appreciate it, and always will. So I'll see you again. Cheers.